If you're watching this, there's a really good chance you have Zillow open in one tab, U-Haul prices open in another, and you're Googling something like, is Texas actually cheaper than California? Or is that just a hype? You probably love California. I do too. You love the weather, you love the beaches, you love the food and the lifestyle. You're tired of filling up your gas tank and feeling annoyed every single time. You're tired of looking at your paycheck and watching a huge chunk disappear to state income tax before you even touch it and still not able to really get it. And maybe the most frustrating part is feeling that you're doing everything right financially and still not really getting ahead. Then the fear creeps in. What if you move to San Antonio and you hate it? What if the cost savings everyone talks about aren't really actually real? What if property taxes and insurance wipe out all the money you thought you'd save? What if you uproot your life and realize this was a huge mistake? Those fears are real and those fears are valid, and I hear them every single week. So today we're slowing this way down. No headlines, no hype, just real numbers, real comparisons, and real life experiences. My name is Phyllis Domingo. I've lived here for over 20 years, and as a local realtor, I love helping people make their move to San Antonio, whether that's 9 days or 90 days from now. Feel free to reach out. All my contact information is in the description below. I work with clients relocating from all over the country and even internationally. Whether you're military, remote working, retiring, or just need a fresh start, I know how overwhelming it can feel, but that's actually why I created this channel, to give you the info and insight you need to make a smart move to San Antonio and maybe even help you find your dream home along the way. So before we dive in, I want to be really clear about something. This video is not here to convince you to move to Texas. It's here to give you the clarity. San Antonio is exactly what they've been looking for. Others realize they like visiting Texas, but living here wouldn't fit their lifestyle. Both outcomes are a win. The worst thing you can do is make a life-changing move because you think it's cheaper, without how the costs shift and what daily life actually feels like. So let's start where almost every California conversation starts, and that's housing. Housing is usually the first domino. In many parts of California, especially coastal cities, buying a home under $700,000 or $800,000 feels nearly impossible. And when you do find something, it's often smaller, older, attached, or needs updates. A lot of people aren't buying homes they love. They're buying homes they can tolerate. You're competing with cash buyers, investors, and people waiving inspections just to win. That creates stress before you even move in. Now let's talk about San Antonio. San Antonio is a large, modern city with a wide range of housing styles and neighborhoods. This isn't rural Texas, and it's not outdated housing. Most of my California clients buy between $350,000 and $450,000. And at that price point here, they're often getting newer construction, open layouts, large kitchen with real counter space, walk-in pantries, dedicated office or flex rooms, and 2 or 3 car garages. And this is where people feel the difference immediately. They cook more because the kitchen actually works. Kids have space instead of being on top of each other. Working from home becomes manageable. Hosting family doesn't feel overwhelming at all. Housing in San Antonio isn't just cheaper, it's more livable. If housing comparison is already helping you understand why so many Californians are looking at San Antonio, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I post detailed educational videos like this every week to help you understand what living here is really like before you move. Now let's talk about the topic that scares everyone the most: property taxes. California homeowners benefit from Proposition 13, which keeps property taxes relatively low and stable over time, especially if you've owned your home for years. Texas does not have that system. Here, property taxes are based on the current market value of the home. Rates vary by area, but most fall between 1.8 and 2.7%. That number alone causes panic, so let's slow this down. So if you own an $800,000 home in California and your tax rate is around 0.7%, you're paying roughly around $5,600 a year. If you bought an $800,000 home in San Antonio at a 2.5% rate, your taxes would be $20,000 per year. That comparison feels scary, but it's also misleading. Most people relocating graduating are not buying $800,000 home. Maybe some, but not always. If you buy a $400,000 home at that same rate, your property taxes are about $10,000 per year. Yes, that is still higher than California. But now, let's talk about state income tax. If you earn around $150,000 per year in California, you could be paying $9,000 to $10,000 annually in state income tax. In Texas, that number is zero. So the tax burden doesn't disappear, it shifts. Instead of paying the state every paycheck, you're paying locally through property taxes. Understanding that shift before you move is everything. So let's talk about insurance. Insurance is another area where expectations often don't match reality. In California, fire insurance has become one of the biggest stress points for homeowners. Policies are being dropped, rates are skyrocketing, and coverage is uncertain. In San Antonio, the risks are different. Here, the main concerns are hail, wind, and storms. Because of that, homeowners insurance is typically higher than people expect. Deductibles that are 1% to 2% of the home's value. That means on a $400,000 home, your deductible could be $4,000 to $800,000 if you ever file a claim. Now, auto insurance, however, is often lower than California. That said, Texas has a high number of uninsured drivers, so carrying proper coverage is important. Most people find that higher home insurance and lower auto insurance balances out. The key is knowing this ahead of time so you're not shocked at closing. Okay, so utilities deserve a real conversation. In California, electricity rates can be extremely high, often 30 to 35 cents per kilowatt, sometimes more even during peak usage. Even conservative households can end up with a painful high bills. In San Antonio, electricity rates are much lower, usually around 14 to 15 cents per kilowatt hour. That sounds amazing, and it is. But here's the part that people don't fully understand until they live here. You use more electricity. Air conditioning in Texas is not optional. From late spring through early fall, your AC runs daily, sometimes constantly. A very typical summer electric bill in San Antonio ranges from $200 to $300 depending on home size and efficiency. Newer homes tend to perform much better. So here's where it balances it out. In the winter, electric bills often drop under $100. When averaged over the entire year, most Californians still pay less overall over here than they did in California. Water is another adjustment. In California, water costs are heavily impacted by drought restrictions and tiered pricing. In San Antonio, water is much more predictable. You still need to be mindful, but you're not constantly worried about severe overcharges. Now, internet pricing is comparable to California with fiber available in many neighborhoods. Once you understand the utilities, the key takeaway is this: electricity is cheaper, but you use more of it. Once you understand that, utilities stop being scary. Schools are one of the most emotional parts of any relocation. When people ask, are the schools good in San Antonio? My answer is always the same. It depends on the district and the neighborhood. Texas does not have one single school experience. San Antonio has excellent districts, average districts, and struggling districts, just like California. Areas like Alamo Heights function almost like private schools within public education. Homes there, though, are more expensive because families specifically buy for the schools, every camp, and they offer magnet programs, STEM. Large districts like Northside ISD and Northeast ISD cover massive areas. Quality can vary campus to campus, but they offer magnet programs, STEM academies, fine art, and dual language programs. The biggest mistake: families choosing a house first and assuming the schools will work themselves out. In San Antonio, schools should be part of the home search conversation from day one. If you want help narrowing down neighborhoods, schools, and price points that actually fit your family and lifestyle, my contact is in the information below in the description. So I work with relocation clients every single week, and I'm happy to walk you through this step by step. Now let's talk about everyday life, the things you pay for constantly. Groceries are one of the biggest pleasant surprises. H-E-B dominates the grocery scene here, and people aren't exaggerating when they talk about H-E-B. Prices are consistently lower than many California grocery stores, and the quality is excellent. Gas is another major difference. Gas prices in San Antonio are often $1 to $1.5 to $2 cheaper per gallon than California. Over a year, that adds up to thousands in savings. Now, dining out is also significantly more affordable. A dinner that costs $100 in California often costs $60 to $70 here, with generous portions and great quality. Entertainment costs less too. Movies, festivals, family attractions, sporting events, they're more accessible. People go out more because they can. San Antonio is very spread out, and where you live matters. Many Californians gravitate towards the north and northwest sides like Stone Oak, Alamo Ranch, and Helotes. These areas feel familiar with newer homes and strong schools. Others prefer central neighborhoods and New Braunfels are extremely. Suburbs like Schertz, Cibolo, Bernie, and New Braunfels are extremely popular for families who want newer homes, strong schools, and a slower pace while still being close to the city. There's only what fits your lifestyle. So if you're ready to make a move to San Antonio or the surrounding suburbs, I am here to help. All my contact information is in the description below. Call, text, or email anytime. Whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, I'd love to help you find your perfect home. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share it with anyone you know who's thinking about moving to San Antonio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.